so sometimes things are tricky, you know what I mean? And it's a little bit more difficult than just making the fight happen. But like I said, I'm pushing to make the biggest and best fights happen.
Could the feared Mexican monster, who pursued a fight with Canelo for years, really turn down a blockbuster bout with the new pound-for-pound king, Terence Crawford?
He tweeted after the Canelo-Crawford fight, asking like, hey, could you maybe come down to 168?
But just as quickly as the hype grew, David Benavidez himself poured cold water on the flames with a shocking refusal. Behind his decision lies a calculated plan that reshapes everything we thought we knew about his future. This isn't just a career move, it's a final verdict on his past. Benavidez is ready to settle his own score on entirely new battlegrounds. The night of September 13th was electric, as Terence "Bud" Crawford did the unthinkable, moving up in weight to dismantle the legendary Canelo Alvarez.
A lot of times, and he looked spectacular. Congratulations to Terence Crawford for that great performance, and man, it was a great fight.
Were you expecting more from Canelo?
I was expecting a lot more. I was expecting Canelo to knock out Crawford, to be honest with you, because it's a three-weight divisions. Well, he did fight one time, the higher division, but and to me, it's three weights, He had to go up a lot in weight, and that's what I was expecting. But at the end of the day, I got to give respect to Canelo. He has done so much in boxing that it will be hard for somebody else to achieve and make. He trained hard, and he said that he tried, but the body did not respond. And I've been saying that, the body is worn out. Canelo is young, but in boxing.
While the boxing world was still absorbing Crawford's masterful performance, His Excellency Turki Alalshik acted fast. He took to social media with a simple question: can David Benavidez still make 168 pounds? Instantly, a dream fight emerged. Benavidez, the undefeated two-time champion with a fearsome record of 30 wins and 24 knockouts, was the division's boogeyman, the man many believed Canelo had avoided for years. A clash between Crawford's sublime skill and Benavidez's brutal power seemed like the most logical, explosive fight to make. The fans wanted it, the money was there, and the biggest promoter in the game was hinting at it.
I think Terence is really funny. I love the way he lives his life. I love the way he brings his kids. If you watch his kids with the wrestling and stuff like that, he's just a winner. And I feel that, you got guys who are really, really, really good, and they're not really hell-bent on becoming a star. I put you in that category. I put Terence in that category. Maybe Shakur, where they feel like they don't really want to, Terence ain't bothered about going to premieres and, being on the front cover of magazines and stuff like that. But unfortunately, in the business, we have to try and make sure he has that kind of value commercially. So it's getting the narrative and the moments right to just showcase his...
But what seemed like a dream scenario quickly turned into a baffling dead end. David Benavidez shut down the speculation with a finality that left no room for doubt. Speaking directly to Fight Hub TV, he made his stance clear. "I'm done with super middleweight," Benavidez declared.
My plan is, after this fight, I want to go down to 154. No, bro. I'm done with cruiserweight. I want to take this opportunity, though. Yes.
I want to take this opportunity, though, to congratulate Crawford. He put on a hell of a performance and is right up there with the Mount Rushmore of the greatest fighters of all time. Let Crawford do his thing, bro. At the end of the day, I have no interest in fighting Crawford. I have no interest in fighting at 168.
I want to take this opportunity, though. Yes, I say cruiserweight. I want to take this opportunity to, congratulate Crawford. He put a hell of a performance. He's up there in the Mount Rushmore of the greatest fighters of all time. And, let Crawford do his thing, bro. At the end of the day, I have no interest in fighting Crawford. I have no interest in going down to 168. Yeah, it's nice that it would be dope winning all titles, but I'm way past that.
The message was clear. This wasn't a negotiating tactic. It was a line drawn in the sand. Benavidez crushed any lingering hope, stating, "I wouldn't even go to 168 for Canelo, and I'm just being real with you. Crawford is the man at 168. That's his weight class. I'm done at 168.
The only reason I wouldn't even go down to 168 for Canelo, and I'm just being real with you, and let Crawford do his thing. Let him have his, let him. I want to give his flowers, man, because he's a great fighter, man. When there's no other fighter that's coming up from 147 to beat a type of fighter like Canelo at 168, when Crawford, he's one of the greatest of all time. So, I have no interest in going down to 168. I'm not saying that I'm scared of Crawford or whatever, but Crawford's a man at 168. That's his weight class. I'm done with 160.
When asked if a staggering $120 million payday could tempt him back, his answer was an emphatic no. This wasn't about money, it was about something far bigger.
As a business, David, if they throw 100 million, 120 million to go down for either or, like,
I mean,
would you second?
20 million sounds good, but honestly, at the end of the day, no. No. But they won't give 120 million. I don't even think Canelo got 120 million for fighting Crawford, to be honest with you. But no, man, I'm done.
The truth behind Benavidez's decision goes far beyond the brutal challenge of cutting weight. It's a strategic pivot toward a new, even more ambitious chapter of his career. He isn't avoiding a challenge, he's chasing a different one.
Throw whatever money they want at me. And my job is not only to get the money. My job is to give myself the best chance to win and to give myself the best chance of look.
Benavidez has found a new home in the light heavyweight division, fighting at 175 pounds, with his sights set on the division's kings. His immediate focus is a high-stakes battle against Britain's Anthony Yarde, scheduled to take place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
How this fight came about? Because I was surprised that you went this route with Yarde.
Yeah, so there was a lot of options on the table. You know, obviously we wanted to get a great fight because the last fight with me and David Morrell lived up to expectation. I think it exceeded expectations. So we wanted to give the fans a good fight. We were in line for Bivol for the belts, you know, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So we were looking, you know, to get a crowd-pleasing fight, and we're trying to fight the best in the division of 175. If it's not the champions, you know, we want to fight the next best guys. We're looking at some options, but the only one that really manifested itself was the fight with Anthony Yarde, and I think this is a crowd-pleasing fight. You know, Anthony Yarde, you know, he's a great fighter. You know, he still has a ton of fight in him. He's been in there with Artur Beterbiev, Kovalev. So he's been up there with, you know, the top guys, and I feel like this is probably going to be the most he comes prepared for any fight because he's lost his last two title fights, and you know, I feel like he knows that this is probably the last opportunity. Not his last opportunity, but this is, you know, he has to take advantage of this opportunity. So I'm not taking Anthony Yarde lightly. I know he has a dog in him. You know, I know he has a lion in him, but, you know, I have the lion in me as well. So this is going to be a perfect fight for my first fight with Riyadh.
He sees this as his chance to become a global star and, more importantly, a stepping stone to the very top of the 175-pound division.
I said I'm very grateful for this, and not only am I grateful for fighting with Riyadh season, but I'm grateful because I don't want to just be a regional fighter. I want to be a worldwide fighter, and this is the first time that I'm going to fight in a different country, in Saudi Arabia. So this is going to be it's going to be a gift for the fans in Saudi Arabia. You know, when I went over there the first time to see Bivol and Beterbiev fight, you know, a lot of people show love, and I know I have a lot of fans out there. So, you know, this is going to be a great fight for all the fans in Saudi Arabia.
Benavidez believes victory is inevitable and will set him on a collision course with the division's most feared champions, Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. For Benavidez, the path to legacy no longer runs through the division he once ruled but through conquering the monsters that lie ahead. He's chasing greatness, not just paydays, and in his mind, that greatness resides at light heavyweight.
Division 175 pounds, you have the undisputed champion in Dmitry Bivol, who's reigning, but he has we think a rubber match with Artur Beterbiev scheduled at some point. Has it been told to you, David, that like if you win this fight, you're going to get a crack at either Bivol or Beterbiev?
I mean, yeah, it's not. They haven't told me specifically that, but you know, I mean, just in the trajectory of what I'm doing, what I am, you know, I'm world champion at 175 with the WBC, so it's inevitable. It's just when it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? I take my career one fight at a time. You know what I mean? I don't really let other fights kind of get into my brain. You know, I'm getting ready for Anthony Yarde. I'm 100% focused on Anthony Yarde, and whatever comes next, comes next. But as for what I'm thinking of, you know, that's. What else is there left? What other fights you guys want to see me fight? You know what I mean? Especially that we're here with Turki Al-Sheikh. We're getting these fights done. In my opinion, a fight with Beterbiev or Bivol is next. You know what I mean?
But Benavidez wasn't the only one shutting the door on this potential super fight. In a revealing twist, Terence Crawford's camp appeared completely uninterested. Crawford's acclaimed trainer, Brian Bow McIntyre, quickly dismissed claims that Benavidez was next on their list. When asked about the matchup, McIntyre didn't hesitate. "No, we ain't doing that fight," he said bluntly, emphasizing that their priority was for Crawford to rest and recover after a grueling 6-month training camp for the Canelo fight.
But we're going to get back in the gym. We're going to get back in the gym, and we're going to assess that. And You know, right now I just want him to go on vacation, have some fun, spend time with his family, man. Because we trained for like probably a half a year for that fight. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of time spent away from home, a lot of time spent away from the family. So I just want him to just go get back home.
He wanted his fighter to take a vacation and spend time with his family, not immediately enter negotiations for another demanding bout. McIntyre's comments revealed a crucial piece of the puzzle. This fight was never a serious consideration for Team Crawford. The story wasn't just about Benavidez refusing the challenge, it was about two elite fighters on entirely different paths, with neither camp viewing the other as part of their immediate future.
Who, Canelo?
Turkey, people are talking about it. Turkey hinted at that. He was like Benavidez.
Yeah, he
Turkey,
did.
so.
Turkey just posted that this morning, wondering if Benavidez can make 168. Maybe he has plans or ideas of maybe trying to match up Benavidez and Terence Crawford.
No,
there.
man. No, we ain't doing that fight.
Maybe planning on vacating the belts.
No, we ain't gonna vacate the belts. You know, we just gonna sit where we need to sit for a minute, and then, just like I said, get back in the gym.
To truly understand Benavidez's mindset, you have to consider the long, frustrating shadow cast by Canelo Alvarez. Bigger, younger, and relentlessly aggressive, many believed Benavidez was the one fighter Canelo genuinely wanted to avoid. That long and fruitless chase seems to have permanently soured him on the entire 168 pounds division. His decision to move on isn't just a career choice, it's an emotional release. He's done waiting.
Person that Canelo is, he's gonna be, oh well, I didn't prepare for that fight, but now I'm prepared, this and that. You know, there's another storyline behind that. Because of the way he lost. He didn't go in there and get just beat up and destroyed the whole fight. It just didn't look like he prepared at all. And the fighter that was prepared was Crawford. So there could still be a big storyline, 175. Like I said, he could say, oh, well, now I'm motivated. Now I have a reason to train, now this and that. And it'll be a title fight for 175. So, everything is still possible right now. And Canelo, what is he, like 35? I think it's 33, yeah. And then imagine Crawford was 38. So, I mean, I don't, I'm not focused on Canelo. I got my own stuff going on, but if there might be a way to make that fight happen. So, like I said, I'm not really worried about that. I'm just thinking about the fighters.
Watching Crawford defeat the man he could never face in the ring may have been the final confirmation Benavidez needed. He felt Crawford simply took the fight more seriously, suggesting Canelo's ego got the best of him and led to inadequate preparation. By closing the door on 168, Benavidez is closing the Canelo chapter for good, choosing to carve a new path rather than linger in a division defined by a fight that never happened.
Talking shit about Canelo. I'm not talking shit about him. He just didn't look like he really prepared 100%. Just throwing 10 punches around, or I think it was his ego is that big that he thought that, oh, I'm just gonna walk through him, catch him with a good shot, and it's gonna be done. As you can see, Crawford is a different type of fighter. Not only does he have the boxing IQ, he has that dog in him. He was in there. He was brawling. If I'm being honest with you, bro, I'm not happy that he lost. I kind of felt like that could have been me. That was my moment. You know what I mean? If I would have gone in there, I know I would have beat him. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be a hater, but that's kind of how I feel. But you know what I mean? I give all the flowers to Crawford. You know what I mean?
That should have been me in there. That should have been my.
If I would have got.
This resolute stance also reflects a profound personal transformation. Benavidez is no longer the reckless youth who made headlines for the wrong reasons. He has acknowledged his past mistakes and the criticisms that once plagued him, emerging from that fire stronger and more focused. He credits much of this growth to a renewed sense of purpose rooted in prayer and meditation. He speaks of living a righteous life, not just for his career, but as a dedicated father and husband. This newfound maturity has given him a clear perspective on his goals. He is driven by a desire to be the best, to build a lasting legacy, and he won't let outside noise or fleeting opportunities distract him. His refusal to fight Crawford isn't arrogance, it's the disciplined choice of a man who knows exactly who he is and where he's going, both inside and outside the ring.
And you were younger.
I was 22. From seeing what I did to him in those sparring sessions, I'm very confident I'll win. But I'm not gonna, be a fool and just use confidence as 100% fuel. I'm gonna go in there and work extremely hard.
You're looking to go up to 175 pounds and potentially get the winner out of Benavidez and Bivol.
That's why I want to be a part of these big fights too, because as you know, both you guys know, once you get a really good fighter in front of you, the training camp is different.
The mentality is different. And when you get in that ring, you shine. That's what I want for myself. I want to be put in them hard positions where you have to use 100% of your skills. And that's why I feel like the best will come out of me. So I'm not scared of it. So whatever it is, even if light heavyweight isn't my final destination, I really want to go up to cruiserweight.
Ooh, so that's cruiserweight, just another. You're a weight class away from going to actual heavyweight.
Yeah. But you know, we're gonna move one step at a time. We got light heavyweight. That's the division I've been wanting to go to.
So, with the Crawford dream fight officially dead, what shocking new path lies ahead for the Mexican monster? His vision reaches beyond the light heavyweight division. Should his desired clashes with Bivol or Beterbiev fail to materialize, Benavidez has a bold backup plan, moving up to the 200-pound cruiserweight division for a colossal showdown with fellow Mexican warrior Zordo Ramirez. He believes a battle between two Mexican power punchers of their caliber would be a massive event, a guaranteed war that would captivate fans. This ambitious plan highlights his commitment to seeking the biggest challenges, no matter the weight class. He has no interest in exhibition fights or easy paydays. He is on a mission to win world titles and cement his name among the all-time greats, venturing into uncharted territory to do it. The dream fight is dead, not due to politics or promoters, but by the will of one man. David Benavidez has consciously turned away from the glamour and hype of a super fight with Crawford, choosing instead to march headfirst into the brutal, shark-infested waters of the light heavyweight division. Many may call it a duck, a calculated move to avoid a technical chess match he might not win, but others see it as the ultimate power play, a fighter rejecting the path everyone demanded to forge his own. Is he trading one legendary challenge for an even more dangerous one, leaving Crawford's genius for the raw power of monsters like Beterbiev and Bivol? This isn't a retreat, it's an advance into hostile territory. It's a gamble that could either crown him a multi-division legend or shatter his perfect undefeated record. One thing is certain, the monster is no longer waiting for a king to grant him an audience. He's hunting his own crown. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss our upcoming videos. Share your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned, we'll catch you in the next one.